Alexa, what's the dog of the day?
The Labradoodle is the dog of the day.
Well, that's bullshit.
Today I'm answering the most asked questions about my studio space, so I'm going to bring you along through my day and we'll round it off with a Q&A from the Treehouse. But first... Hey baby, I'm having words with myself. I've got a melody. Do you want me to shoot it across on WhatsApp or Discord? Which is best? She's dressed and ready for the day. I'm not wearing my watch. My phone is dead. We're getting off to a great start. What does my day usually look like? Every day is different. The only real constant is coffee. So I am checking off one big to-do on my long life to-do list. It's been on there for at least the last 15 years. I've been learning to drive. I picked up a second-hand car last year, a gift from my mum. As a first car, it feels like a new adventure. It's old, it's rusty in places, it's got character, but most importantly, it's got a CD player. I think one of the things I love about being an independent artist is how personalized everything is and how you do get to know some people who find you for your music on a more personal level. I found some friends for life just by sharing my music and getting to know the people who actually listen to it. And as an artist, you feel fulfilled because there's somebody out there listening to what you do and they're not just a number on a screen. I had a conversation with a friend who was talking about albums, vinyls, and they were talking about it from the perspective of not necessarily as physical pieces to listen to, but more as forms of music memorabilia that comes straight and direct from the artist. And that's really special to me. I guess my point here is sometimes I feel like the value of music today is kind of overlooked. We can stream whoever we want, wherever we want. And so when somebody picks something like this up from you, it's a fulfilling feeling as an artist knowing somebody out there has a little slice of what you did. So thanks for picking these up. It makes everything I do really worth it. I'm gonna get my coat on and we're gonna go out to the treehouse. We need the ladder, we need keys. It's really windy outside. Where is... There you are. I'm gonna go out to the treehouse. You coming? Come on, let's go. Oh hi, we just wanted to take a quick break to say that you should subscribe. With every new subscriber, the pug gets a gravy bone. Studio on? Okay, yeah, so the first job is booting up Unreal Engine. It's very blue in here right now. So another thing we have set up, which we've programmed within a piece of software called Chitane. This is our day-night cycle timeline. This is programming the sun within Unreal Engine to move throughout the day, so the lighting changes within the windows behind us, and it's also programming all of the lights in the room to match with whatever is happening outdoors. So golden hour or twilight, like nighttime right now, so let's change that. Something a little brighter, much better. What is the most used equipment in your studio? In terms of the oldest piece of equipment in this studio, I mean, there's a lot of old equipment in here that doesn't get used on a daily basis, but one of the constants and one of the oldest pieces of gear in this room is the Neumann TLM 103. I've had this thing probably since 2013, a decade old, and it's still going strong today. It's the mic that I use for recording all of my vocals for all kinds of projects, and also the mic that I use live for when I go live on Twitch. It's not the mic I'm using for this video, but it's the one that I use on all of my streams. You can't go wrong with the Neumann TLM 103. Next question, what are the most random instruments you have in your collection? So there's that. The last time I used this Rainmaker was to add some brightness to some kind of reverse cymbals leading into a chorus. Ocarina, which admittedly I haven't used on any of the project other than this video. But you never know. You can't call this a music instrument exactly, but Printer sent me this music box. Came with a code for a game called Far, Changing Tides, which is a pretty cool game. It's a little creepy. just a little bit. Next question. What microphone do you use and where is it? I never see it in shot, but your vocal is always clear. Are you using a lapel? No, I'm not using a lapel. I'll show you exactly where the mic is. So there's my teleprompter and monitor set up for stream, and the mic is positioned just above me, tilted at an axis, and this picks up the vocal and the acoustic guitar. It's positioned so it's just out of shot, but there's a whole bunch of things that I'm adding on the post. The analog gear that we push my vocal through. A Neve preamp, a DSR, a Midas EQ, and a Neve compressor. What's all the gear in that rack? Do a rundown, please. So at the top there we have a TLA Audio Ivory preamp and compressor, a Thermionic Culture Vulture, which is a valve distortion unit. We use this for saturation across vocals, bass, actually everything. Two Clark Technic KT2As running as a stereo pair. These are made by Behringer and they are inspired by the LA 2A compressor. We've also got two Clark Technic 7.6 KT compressors, a Sansamp, we record a lot of guitar and bass through this, a Pre-73 preamp, which is modelled on the Neve preamp I showed you earlier, and a Clark Technic BBD 320 chorus. Let's definitely nerd out on rack equipment. I'll save that for a future video though. What teleprompter am I using? It's homemade and there's many reasons for this. We wanted to build our own and we basically just have a pane of glass at an angle with the camera behind it and a vertical screen, and the job of that PC is to just run Chatty, piece of software that basically displays your Twitch chat that you can customize. Cool. What else? Is your backdrop a green screen? Does it not look like I'm actually in a treehouse? What's wrong with you? I answer it way better in this video here, which you should go and check out. It details the entire build of this whole space. So yeah. What music are you working on right now? I feel like with every single music release that I've ever put out over the last 12 years or so, I've always come at it with a thick brush coated in paint, come at things really creatively from different angles, adopted new tech where we can and things, but no, this time it feels different. There's a weight to it that hasn't been there before, and I want to make sure I get it right. I'm not saying it's foolish to be a slave to the algorithm of things and like try and pipe out as much music as you possibly can, because I think if that works for you, then that's fine. From my own point of view, it's just, you know, sometimes it takes time. Yeah, going back to what we were saying earlier about like the value of music, I've really tried not to fall into that trap of, you know, pumping out as much music as possible. That doesn't really serve me as the artist, and it doesn't serve people who might want to listen, because I know, and they all probably know, that it wouldn't be my best work. So point being, I'm taking my time, bear with me, but yeah, I'm writing a lot in the background, enjoying the process, sifting through for gold. Yeah, just approaching things a little bit more delicately than I usually would. Another thing about this room, it's essentially like a Faraday cage, so I never have phone signal or decent phone signal in here. So we've had to get these radios so we can communicate with one another when things go wrong, and also when, you know, Lester, if you can hear me, I'd love another coffee. I promise I'm not abusing this. Don't talk to me about cable management, right? You know what? You know what I strongly dislike? People that judge me because of my cable management. You know what I have to say to you? You know what I have to say to you people? Life is too short, okay? You know how long it took me to build this treehouse? You think I'm gonna spend an extra 5 seconds tidying cables? You're wrong, my friend. Okay, I get it. My cable management is maybe something I could work on. Life's too short, baby. I'm good. If you've been enjoying my new weekly uploads here, then make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, and also thank you to these legends, absolute heroes. Thank you very much for being patrons on Patreon. I love you guys. You make it all happen. Appreciate you. See you next week.